doing the will of God is more important, listen now, than even the most strongly felt family connections.
Hello everyone, I'm Joseph Dinesh, a Catholic commentator from Sydney, Australia. Today, we are going to dwell into an important topic: how Christian parents, especially in third world countries like India, often unintentionally destroy their children's vocation. For those of you watching from countries like US, Canada, or the UK, this might sound extreme or difficult to imagine. However, in third world countries, this is an unfortunate, harsh reality. To give you some context, let me briefly explore the reasons why Indian parents often fall into this pattern. First, many parents prioritize wrong things in their children's lives, focusing on money, societal status, and family reputation rather than God's unique calling for them. Second, parents often treat their children as extensions of their own ambitions. So to fulfill the dreams they couldn't achieve themselves, they end up controlling, molding, and emotionally manipulating their children. Third, parents in India frequently invest everything, financially and emotionally, in their children, expecting them to shoulder the family's burdens as they grow older. While all this stems from love, it creates overwhelming pressure, robbing children of freedom to follow their true vocation. Now, to provide a striking contrast to what I've been discussing about Indian parenting, let me share a glimpse of what's possible when Indian parents take a different approach. Here is a clip of an Indian guru describing how he was shocked and surprised by his mother's unwavering encouragement to pursue his calling. But keep in mind that this story is an exception rather than the norm. In India, examples like these are rare, and most children face the challenges I've described. Let's dive in.
My mother said, from the day one that you left, she said, I thought you made the right decision. Imagine for a mom to say that. And I said, Mom, how do you even say that?
I was 21.
I was 21, and how? She said, I trusted that you listened to your calling. She said, and I was so glad that you didn't just become a part of the routine society that everybody just has to conform to whatever else they were doing. And you followed your heart.
While this Indian guru deeply values his mother's encouragement in pursuing his God-given calling, it's hard to envision him promoting the same approach within his own Indo community. Even if he did, such a message would likely struggle to gain acceptance among the broader Indian population. This is because Indian parenting is often shaped by sentimentality, possessiveness, and a fixation on societal status. These attitudes contribute to a cycle of immaturity and dependency, trapping children in the same limiting patterns across generations. Now, at this point, you might be asking yourself, what's so wrong in parents being possessive of their children? What's wrong in being deeply emotionally attached? Or what's wrong in being financially dependent on them? Isn't that just a natural part of family life? In the next clip, Bishop Barron sheds light on the profound and often devastating consequences of immature parenting. Let's watch.
Doing the will of God is more important, listen now, than even the most strongly felt family connections. I'm going to say it again. For the Bible, doing the will of God is more important. It overcomes even the strongest emotional connections. See, Hannah is a great figure. She's a saintly figure in the Old Testament. Why? Because she let her son go. Now, we all know about this. When you allow sentimentality to run amok, when your sentimental connection to your children is so strong, what happens? You smother them. You never allow them the freedom to be the person God wants them to be. And your sentimentality becomes destructive of the other. What if Hannah had never let Samuel go? We wouldn't have King David, whom Samuel anointed. The history of salvation would not have moved forward. Israel would not have had one of its greatest prophets. All of that was the result of Hannah's gift. Hannah's family value, that she would let her son do his mission. What's the real biblical family value? It's a letting go. It's a liberating for the sake of mission. You know, as I record these words, my dear mother died just over a year ago. And one of her great contributions, I think, she had a keen sense of this, my mother. My dad had a lot of sort of sentimentality in regard to the kids. I think he would have liked us probably living at home forever. My mother would always say, no. They've all got to find their way. Well, God bless her. See, she was like Hannah. She knew, of course, she had this powerful sentimental connection to all of us. We all knew that. But she had that deeper sense of, no. It's not for us to be clinging to our kids. It's for us to be empowering them to find their task in God's purposes.
So 3 important lessons for Indian parents so that they can break this vicious cycle of immaturity and emasculation. First, doing the will of God is more important than any parent-child relationship. The story of Hannah and Samuel beautifully illustrates that doing God's will must take precedence over even the closest earthly relationships. Hannah fervently prayed for a child, and when God blessed her with Samuel, she recognized that he ultimately belonged to God, not to her. True to her promise, she dedicated Samuel to Lord's service, allowing him to grow under Eli's guidance rather than holding on to him for her own comfort or desires. This act of surrender underscores the central message. The vocation of the child, as ordained by God, must take priority over the ambitions or attachments of the parents. Second, excessive sentimentality robs children of the freedom to follow God's call without guilt. Excessive sentimentality can become a major obstacle for children in discerning and following their God-given vocation. While parental love and care are essential, they should never overshadow the higher call to prioritize God's will. Jesus teaches in Matthew chapter 10 verses 37 to 39, "Whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me." This powerful statement emphasizes that our allegiance to God must surpass even our closest family bonds. The clear lesson for Indian parents is to trust God's purpose for their children and let go of possessive attachments. By doing so, they allow their children the freedom to say yes to God without hesitation or fear of disappointing their family. Third, biblical family values call for parents to let go of their children. The story of Abraham and Isaac provides a powerful lesson for parents, particularly Indian parents who struggle with letting go. Abraham's willingness to offer his son Isaac as sacrifice shows his unwavering trust in God's plan. Though God ultimately spared Isaac, this act demonstrated a crucial truth. Children belong to God, not to their parents. Parenting rooted in biblical family values requires not only nurturing children with love and discipline, but also knowing when to step back. Clinging to control or dependence, whether out of cultural expectations or emotional attachments, can prevent children from discerning and following the vocation God has prepared for them. Now, I understand for many Indian Christian parents, this teaching may be challenging, but if you want your children to do what God wants them to do with their lives, then it's important to implement these lessons. Finally, in conclusion, I would like to end with the saying of St. John Chrysostom, a doctor of the church. He said, "God has given you children that you may prepare them for himself." I hope this video is helpful. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. God bless you.